My first trainer's name was Amit Paul. This guy told me learn 2 words every day. Uh, just carry a small diary with you, notebook, and just write 2 words every day. Words that you think are important or unknown to you. Don't write 60 words a day. 2 words a day, and within 30 days you see 60 words you know, or you probably apply 10 words from them. So yeah, vocabularies, you can apply this technique. Just 5 words a day, and I'll be playing quiz with those 5 words. And if you do it consistently, like I do it on the group, like with my student, I share word of the day every day, and I do it consistently. Over the years, I have got this consistency. Yeah, so what do you think about this vocabulary thing, or if you have any other points to discuss so that we can improve our spoken English?
Well, guys, this particular portion is being discussed so many times from our side. Like, we love to play with vocabularies. Like, every single day, believe me, when I get into the class and I do feel a vibe. Because it is not about that, okay, whatever you know, just speak it out like a parrot. But no, we love to do the experiment. So, here I have come in contact with so many things, such as there are some things like you also people know that very well, that reading can help this like in a huge amount. I cannot even explain it. Yeah, literally. So when I started reading, my reading journey started with this thing. When I didn't have any vocabulary, so I got suggestion from my trainer that just try reading, because a writer a writer has the treasure of words and vocabularies and all those things that you can get from a book. So my first book is The Blue Umbrella, and believe me or not, the kind of words I got from there, I didn't know the pigtail I got in the first para, like the first line I came in contact with that particular word, that pigtail. What is pigtail? Then I researched on it. So in such a way, reading can help us in huge amount, like to that extent. It really can be the support for us. And not only reading, as we can talk about listening. Before some time you were talking about that you are listening to somebody. It is also not that, okay, listening in the sense watching podcast, listening to music. You also can observe somebody who is speaking in English. Like the particular environment I have got into right now, every time, whenever I listen to somebody speak in English, maybe he or she is not in my batch, but I just go to that place. I go to that place because I know that when English is being discussed, I will be getting something. Because what happened, let's say you love to eat food a lot and you are a chicken lover, and wherever you will see a chicken or the biryani kind of thing, you do the research. You love to do the research. I've seen so many friends of mine, kind of biryani they talk about, I've never heard of, like shahi biryani, bamboo biryani and all those things, because you love to do that. You are a food lover, so you love to. Yes, that's your main purpose probably. So for me, whenever I get something related to English, I get jump upon it. I feel like doing it more and more and more. So just give yourself the punch that yes, there is an opportunity. So listening to somebody, and we can do it when we can get ourselves into a conversation.
Absolutely.
Like have small talks. We talk about small talks. It is really a lack in our life right now. We always think that, okay, talking in the sense we have to get a topic, then we will be able to talk about.
Explain hours.
Explain hours and hours. No, I have observed it's really hard to talk about easy things than the hard things, because hard things is all about just getting a topic and you're talking about it.
You have to get better at basics if you want to talk about the small stuff.
Yes, that's the reason why every day when I sit down to practice, I always remind myself of never forget your basic, never forget the root where you have grown up. Because let's say, like as a tree, if I don't nourish the root, if I don't water the root, then I'll never be able to get flourished with all those leaves and the fruit. It will never be get flourished. So root is really important to nourish it, and to do that, so we have to do silly things. As Rajada says it so well, be crazy, just go mad. So then you'll be able to do something out of the blue. Like, just make others realize that yes, you've gone crazy, nothing can be done, you need asylum's number. My family members always say that, okay, now you have to get admitted, because whenever you're doing, one of my aunts was saying last time that, and when you got back home, it was approximately 1 a.m. And then you were speaking, all of a sudden your uncle said, like, really, I think something is happening, a problem has occurred, like, you just have to talk to her mother and father, because whenever I listen to her, she speaks in English, because it is my job. Like, I cannot forget my job, how can I, right? So when something is my job, I cannot get out of my responsibility. I don't forget to have my meal, I don't forget to take my nap. When the time comes, I remind myself of that, okay, it is my time to take lunch. So how dare I am to forget my responsibility, which is giving me a kind of support, which is showing me the future me. So here, yes, I've talked probably out of the topic, but yes, in order to learn this thing, you have to just find out your way, just do whatever you can do in order to pursue this, in order to learn this. So it can be your option that reading books really help me a lot, like listening to people, as Sovik the listen, he listens a lot. He always believes that listening can be the only one thing which can help me to be a better version of myself.
Yeah, so if you just started this point with reading books, I would like to mention that it's very important that we read newspaper every day. I put emphasis on reading because I think like newspaper, I'm putting emphasis on reading newspaper is because you get a lot of daily news stories which is interesting, and that helps you with a lot of vocabularies.
Yeah, like everyday literature, as you say. So in my class, I came in contact with this particular term from that everyday literature. You don't need to open up a book. You're just going through 100 and 1,000 of words, vocabularies, new terms, and lot more grammar. So what you need, just get into.
And Parvati, it costs only 5 rupees on a normal day. Like maybe on Sunday it costs 6 rupees, but it, like if you buy, let's say, if you buy the Hindu or there is another one that Indian Express. So if you buy this kind of, or Hindustan Times, so if you buy this kind of newspaper, then they cost a little higher, they're costlier. But if you want to start, then Times of India or like Telegraph, these two newspapers predominantly are available in our locality. So I think like Times of India really helps me. Like I always recommend Times of India because you get a lot of snippets. You get very small stories. If you do not have time, spend at least 2 minutes. You can read a snippet, and then you get maybe you get a grammar idea, or you get a word idea. You get a lot of knowledge actually.